7:35 on this Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Now, folks, our next guest is kind of shy. He's a little...
I'm kind of introverted. I'm an introvert, Dale. I have a rough time expressing my feelings, you know.
You need to come out of your shell a bit.
Especially when it comes to Thanksgiving food. So you were discussing Brussels sprouts earlier.
Oh, yuck.
Something I think ought to be left on the ground.
Every time I think of Brussels sprouts, I think of that Leave It to Beaver episode where he's dropping them on the floor to hide them.
Gosh. The only thing worse is liver. I mean, you can't.
Oh, can you imagine liver and Brussels sprouts?
Oh, my golly. I mean, you know.
That and lima beans.
If it, you know, during the holidays, you should tell people, look, if it is a food that typically most people don't like during the other 11 months of the year.
Don't mix it with cheese.
They're not going to like it at Thanksgiving. I mean, you can put all kind of colors on it you want, but it's not going to.
You know, in some of the church potlucks, you know, I swear that, you know, they've emptied out the grass catcher on the lawnmower.
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? If you make the same dish for every potluck and you always bring it all home, guess what? The folks at the church ain't eating what you're cooking. You might want to switch it up.
I'll never forget one church says, church-wide meal, everybody bring a covered dish. Well, here comes this bachelor with a covered dish and nothing in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, some dishes ought to be covered. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But now, you know, we can't be all negative. There are a lot of wonderful dishes out there. Let's talk about the ones that we like. I like and you usually only see it during the holidays for whatever reason, but I like the green bean dish with the cream of mushroom soup in it with the onions,
Ooh,
the crunchy
yeah.
onions. Man, now I can eat some of that.
Yeah.
And I, of course, being from South Louisiana, I love like dirty rice or the rice dishes.
Yeah.
What that use like broccoli and cheese rice or chicken rice. You know, I'm down with that. Some of the other greenery is
but
not
some of the stuff like coleslaw and Jell-O. I mean,
now everybody used to. You remember it was real posh like 5 or 10 years ago to go overpay times 3 for one of those special hams. There was a store just for that. What is it? Honey baked hams. Like what were those things called? You remember them? There's one in Springfield,
really?
Right there on Battlefield. I think
I just go to Harps and buy a petted
something honey baked hams or something, and that's like all this brown sugar caked on the outside of it. And I never did see what people were so wrapped up in that.
Excellent. I got a ham last year from Harps.
Yeah,
got a petted Jean, was great.
Yeah, I mean I like ham, but you know, in certain amounts and in certain ways, I don't.
And I like turkey. I love turkey.
I wonder why some people put sugar or make a dish that's not normally sweet. Like, you know, some meat dishes, they're sugary. Like they put sugar in it. The other day,
I went to a wedding in Nashville a week ago, and they had a honey sweetened pork. And I thought this would be really, really good without all this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and they had all these $55 names for it. And I thought, okay, this is pork, right?
Right.
It was good, but it was sweet to the point of being bitter. You know what I mean?
My mom brought home some leftover barbecue and I don't know what restaurant it came from, so I can't hurt anybody here, but it was barbecue chicken and it was delicious. Big chicken breast and barbecue sauce. It was spicy. That was good. The baked beans were awesome. And then I reached over and got a little taste of the potato salad, and they had put sugar in the potato salad, and it was so sweet. It was like a dessert, you know, like a potato salad frappe or something. I don't know what you'd call it, but
I like a hint of pepper. I like lots of pepper and a hint of salt on potatoes. I don't want them sweet.
Sugar's for dessert, man.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
but I mean, and don't put cherries and fruit on the meat. It's just not right. You know.
Let's talk about the nativity scene and what happened with the judge.
Wow. Yeah.
You want my opinion? My 2 cents worth?
I have a feeling you're going to give it, but you go.
It's my show, Sam.
I know. That's why I said I have a feeling you're going to give it. Let it fly, Dale. Let it fly.
When the judge gives his ruling, what's it called? A judgment.
A judgment, yeah.
Is it law?
A ruling.
A ruling. Based on my opinion, and he based it on separate church and state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which does not exist, people. What are we going to do to get it through their heads that separation of church and state is not in the
freedom
Constitution?
of religion, right? That's well, I don't really know. I mean, I wonder if this person would have been happy if they would leave the nativity scene where it always is and then open the opposite corner, You know, if I was the county judge, I was thinking about this the other day. I thought, well, why doesn't he open the opposite corner? What do you call that? You know, right there at, what would that be, 7th and...
That'd be the southeast corner, right?
Southeast corner.
Yeah, because we're on the north. The Nativity was on the northwest corner.
Open the southeast corner and see how many pagans come out and work in the cold to put up their little whatever they want to put up. I mean, you know, I don't know. But I think that the nativity scene should have priority because it's always been there.
Yeah.
So if he opens the other corner up, that's equal access, right? Mm-hmm. Now, it may not be seen directly from 62. You'd have to, like, loop the square to see it, but that's their problem. But I don't know. You got to give the judge,
now let's take a look at the
county
First
judge
Amendment.
credit for at least standing up and saying, wait a minute, you know.
Here's the First Amendment. Congress.
Yes.
It doesn't say a judge, doesn't say a lawyer, doesn't say people that are freedom from religion stuff. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people to peacefully assemble and to petition the government of a redress of grievances.
But that's changed. I mean...
Where's separation of church and state in there?
But it's not there. But what I'm saying is it's changed. The judicial branch has, over the, century, 150 years, has been able to legislate. For example, the whole gay marriage thing, they just completely trashed what all the states voted and said, this is the Supreme Court ruling, this is the law of the land. So,
but the Supreme Court can't make laws. They have to...
They just did.
I know.
They just did. I mean, judges, what
the judge said...
legislate from the bench all the time. I mean,
but what he said was a judgment. It's not law.
Yeah, well, you tell that to the lady that didn't want to issue the marriage licenses. I mean, they say that is the law. And you hear lawyers say that's the law.
But the Supreme Court can't make the law. And this is what we can't get across
But
to
effectively, black robes legislate all the time in this country. It is what it is.
And Judge Sean Womack is running on that issue for the Supreme Court based on the fact that we have to interpret and go according to the existing
But is
law.
an interpretation of the law a law itself? That's the question. I mean, they have to interpret the law.
Should they go back into Congress and change it?
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm not a lawyer or a legislator, but you would think that would need to be looked at.
Well, now here's another loophole. You're talking about the gay marriage issue. Let's say that there's a level 3 sex offender that lives across the state line in Missouri, but in Arkansas, all this thing about, well, if he's feeling feminine, he can use the women's bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Go out to Walmart and take a look where the benches are for the guys that wait for their wives, right there by the women's bathroom.
Right.
And I even asked the Attorney General this. What if a level 3 sex offender comes into Mountain Home and he's right there and sitting on the benches at Walmart and he sees a 9-10-year-old girl go into the bathroom?
And he's identifying as a woman that day?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That can actually cover him even though he's filed as a level 3 sex offender in Ozark County.
See, had we understood the law to be like that when we were high school boys, we would have felt feminine on many days. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
But think about it, though. Did we not just issue these guys a green card?
It would seem so. I mean, and you would think that I think what we're going to start to see now is, and you've seen this within liberal Christianity in this country. You're starting to see this whole gender neutral thing.
Right.
Gender neutral language. For example, there are very liberal Christians now that say that you can't refer to God as Father, even though Jesus did it. He said, "Our Father, which art in heaven." Now they say
his example.
Now you have to use gender neutral language. I mean, that's what the Church of England female bishopess, if you will, that was seated in the House of Lords a few weeks ago, informed the House of Lords in England. Hey, stop using gender specific language. We need gender neutral language, and instead of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, he should be Creator, Redeemer, Sanctifier, which are things that God does. It's in theology, it's called modalism. And God is not a mode. God is God. And Jesus himself said, "Our Father." When he prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane,
Sure.
he said, "Father, if this cup could be removed from me." So now we learn that Jesus was politically incorrect because he called God his Father. And so we're starting to see that not only in religion in this country, but also you're going to start to see gender-neutral bathrooms that will be, whatever sex wants to go there, male or female or transgender. I mean, I guess we're going to have transgender bathrooms now, or, who knows where this madness is headed. But
now
those,
even on applications, they're saying in some colleges it's parent one or parent two or spouse one, spouse two.
Yeah. Did you see the Campbell's? It's very subtle. There's a Campbell's soup commercial. Saw it yesterday, and where this little boy is sitting there, and this man next to him says, imitating, the Star Wars things, Luke, I'm your father. And then this other man on the other side says, no, I'm your father. And well, it's obviously, a two father.
Yeah.
Well, I don't care, words mean something.
Yeah.
And a boy or a girl cannot have two fathers. It's just not possible. That little boy sitting there does not have both of their DNA. It just doesn't work that way. You can call him what you want, just like you can call Bruce Jenner Caitlyn if you wish, and shave off his Adam's apple and do all kind of reassignment surgery. You run his DNA, Bruce Jenner's still Bruce.
Yeah.
Certain things in the universe that God has made are constant, and you can try to change those and make them politically correct. And when you do that, you end up with what Europe has. And now Europe has been brought to her knees because of their multiculturalistic ideology that is not founded in truth, but is on this free-floating, shifting sand idea of total tolerance, diversity, acceptance, and inclusion, even to the point of including people that are ready to kill them. And France learned a lesson about that last week.
Let's take a quick break. More with Sam Seamans right after this. 7:50.
Yes.
This just popped up. You take everything on the internet is absolutely true, Sam.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And I hope this is incorrect. Something is coming up here saying that Obama has banned saying Merry Christmas and Christmas trees. Well, they said something about there's in Salem, Virginia, a Veterans Administration office or something. So, we can't have any Christmas trees. No.
Right. It's absolutely amazing what we see going on today that we would have never even thought possible even 20 years ago.
In my opinion, it's the lack of leadership in the Obama administration. Mm-hmm. Look at what happened in Ferguson, Missouri. Whose side did he wind up on? He wound up on the side of the boy that was breaking the law.
Yeah.
That led to Baltimore. That led to all kinds of things. New York, that led to an officer buying gasoline on his way home. Minding
his business, yeah.
Well, you look at my radio antenna. The blue ribbon is still hanging on there.
For me, I don't think it's a lack of leadership. I think it's poor leadership, and those two things are different.
No, that's true.
I think, what we're seeing now. We have a president, a commander in chief that has been the most divisive guy. I mean, I was having this conversation. I was in Little Rock this past week for a judicial commission meeting, and I sit on that state commission for the. It's called the Judicial Disciplinary Commission and Disability Commission. Right. So anyway, I was having lunch there at a place called Lazy Pete's. They have great seafood. But anyway, I'm sitting there, and there's a black gentleman and his son next to me, and we struck up a conversation and began to talk. And this guy turned out to be a pastor, and we were visiting. And this guy told me, he said, because we got into a little bit of politics. I don't even know how. But he said, well, the problem is we have a very divisive president in the White House. And I didn't know what to say because, they present things sometimes like every African-American you meet is a card-carrying Democrat and Obama supporter, and that's just not the case. Yeah. And he said, this president has been very, very divisive. And, I told him, I said, well, I felt like before the current president that we were possibly within a generation of having a colorblind society that, that my kids who didn't grow up with segregation, didn't know all that violence of the 60s and all that, that they would grow up with as my wife and I have raised them to respect the dignity of every human being, regardless of their skin color, and to take everybody on their own merits. And now I feel like that has just been demolished, and I feel like we are, it's worse now than it was in the 60s when we had some segregation. Race relations now, there is no conversation. It's all shouting and Black Lives Matter and riotous.
Columbia, Missouri.
Occupy stuff.
Missouri.
Yeah, University of Missouri, just supporting this blind narrative that racism is so deeply embedded in our society that we can't possibly not have racist leaders who happen to be white. And I don't know where we're going to go from that. It's just, who knows, how can the conversation be reopened again in an effective way? And I don't think it can be until that guy's gone.
Yeah.
Because it seems like he just takes every opportunity to set us back and create divisions between race and class and financial status. I don't hate rich people. I'm happy for them, and especially the ones that worked for it.
Yeah,
God bless you, man. Good for you. You earned it honest. You got out and worked hard. Nobody gave it to you. I am happy for you. I am happy sitting next to you in my Volkswagen and you in your Mercedes or Cadillac. That just is great, man. Doesn't bother me a bit. And if other people want to go out and take the risk of investing capital and then possibly turning it into a successful business venture, God bless them. I mean, that's what made our country great. But we live in a place where they're trying to teach us to hate those who have done well, and I just don't buy it.
Yeah. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This time next year, when we're waiting for Thanksgiving to roll around, we'll already know who the president's going to be.
It's less than a year now.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the 24th, the election, 2016.
That'd be... There's supposed to be a rule. I'm not smart enough to do it, but there's a way to figure that out year by year, what the next Tuesday would be in that part of the month in that year. I don't know exactly how.
And normally I can do it. The election will be November 1st.
November 1st. Wow. So yeah, we're less than a year away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. A lot of people are saying it's going to be Hillary.
No.
I know.
She said that Muslims are a peaceful, loving people, and there's no violence there, and they're not tied to terrorism at all.
Well, then they must not be following the Prophet Muhammad, who recommended in his own holy book to kill the infidel. So
we better stop when we're ahead.
You're just a white devil, is what you are, Dale. White devil. Thanks for Sam stopping by to fill in today. You bet. Happy Thanksgiving, sir. Same to you. I hope you get what you like to eat. You bet. God bless. A hamburger. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.